how costly disasters are to victims, and it may soon cost more for future victims. FEMA is considering a change that would require victims to pay a deductible before they get any help. As KRDO News Channel 13 Scott Harrison shows us, this proposed disaster deductible is not going over well with local victims.
Bruce Emerson lives 2 blocks away from the Rockrimmon neighborhood that had heavy rain and a landslide last spring, but it's still affecting his basement.
My sump pump burned out and the water started to collect, and before we could even get it braced up, the wall had moved 9 1/4 inches inside the house.
Emerson says he has $30,000 in damage and that the city has told him he doesn't qualify for FEMA assistance. In a way, he's relieved that he wouldn't have to pay a deductible to FEMA if the agency goes that route.
Well, I don't understand how they're going to prorate it as far as a person who has a $250,000 home versus somebody who has a $1 million home. Is it going to be a slide? Is it going to be different? Does one pay more than the other? Nobody's telling us anything.
Disasters are expensive. There are lots of them, and FEMA's just trying to save money where it can. But victims say it's hard to understand the concept of paying money to get money, especially since so many people in local disasters, like the Waldo Canyon fire, lost everything or got back a lot less than they were expecting. C.J. Moore is one of those victims. She lost 2 homes in the fire and has rebuilt one of them.
You know, if you don't have the money, you just don't have the money.
That makes sense.
Our taxes have got to go for something.
That was Scott Harrison reporting. El Paso County Commissioner Sally Clark is heading to Washington, D.C. to try to convince a Congressional Disaster Committee that this disaster deductible is the last thing the victims need, especially when they're trying to rebuild their lives. Commissioner Clark's congressional testimony on this matter is tomorrow morning.